Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up for you. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $2.39 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up 0.1% in the last 24 hours. Bitcoin, 61,100 plus. Ethereum, 3,400 plus. USD Tether, 112.3 billion plus. And we see USDC at 32.9 billion plus, where we're the real USD from Ripple. We'll see very soon, I think. XRP, 47 cents. We're off 0.3 in the 24-hour. We're off by 5.6 on the 7-day. Much like the rest of the market, everything is bleeding. You know, I say, why not just launch the real US dollar when the micro regulations roll out on July 1st? Why don't we do that in just 3 or 4 days? Wouldn't that be nice? And that way we could catch some of that market cap of Tether not being considered a stablecoin in the EU. It's just a thought I have. I don't know if it'll happen. Ranging between 47 and 48 cents right now. I just want to let you know, I bought the dip like a boss. Yeah, I did. Don't believe me? Check it out. Boom. Yes, 47 cents. Come on in. I see that. I just can't help myself. I'm sorry. It's not financial advice. I'm just telling you. That's my discipline. I went in, and I went in hard this morning. I can't keep looking at a number like that and not make good on it. I got to do it. That's what happened. So the 58 million XRP in the last 24 hours, what's happening? I'll tell you what's happening here. Well, price is going down, and the whales jumped in. And as I have said here multiple times, probably a million or more, I stacked my pennies next to their dollars. So that's what I did. Of course, they are pennies, but nevertheless, I'm pretending they're dollars. You know, I'm not a whale, but I want to be. I'm a baby VC. We all are, right? But that's the fun of this, and that's the fun of this space. And I couldn't be more excited. I was super glad to be able to get in there and catch that dip at 47. I love it. Shout out to Uphold for it and having it there. I got it. I hope you were able to get it too. Let's keep moving. Just doing what the whales do. Well, let's take a look at this. Ryan Selkis says, has there ever been a journalistic research outlet that specifically targeted a government agency with the express purpose of destroying it? I said, yes. It's called the XRP Army, and you know it well. ETHgate. You damn well knew the answer too, Ryan. And he did. You know he did. And somehow, let me see if I can edit this very quickly here. Because see that, how it didn't pick up his full thing? I would like Ryan, see, why is it not, I don't understand why it's doing that. And it's not refreshing that. I don't know what's going on now. Let's see if it fixed the edit. If you ever wondered if we're doing this in real time, you wonder no more, right? Because we are doing this in real time. Here's the latest post. Okay, now it's fixed. Listen, I show this because I hope that Ryan would want to start supporting John Deaton in a more meaningful way. It's like, come on, man. We know you were in the middle of Mount Gox. We know your ass was in the middle of ETHgate too. Don't make this difficult. You know what I mean? You need to support. We don't have to be here for the same reasons to fight for the same cause. And the reality is such that you need to get behind John Deaton because you know it's a lot better than dealing with Elizabeth Warren. We're talking about having a real leader come in there and not backing special interests like Elizabeth Warren is. Anyway, the SEC's Gary Gensler on his agenda. He says, if the courts adjust, we adjust. That's what he said. Stuart Alderoty says, hey, Gary, courts aren't adjusting. They're finding that you're breaking the law by exceeding your statutory authority. I got to be honest. There is not one other human being in the world that has gotten more comfortable and good at X and doing X tweets than Stuart Alderoty in such a short period of time. I tell you this. He can say something. Coinbase officially sues the SEC, the FDIC, federal regulators of trying to cut out the crypto industry. You know what? Lots of luck with that one, but they're right to do so because it is true. I do remember Coinbase not really caring the way Ryan Selkis didn't care until they all found out. That's not a bleacher seat you have. Yeah, you're on the field, baby, and you're getting jammed up too, right? Well, breaking here, Vanguard CEO likens Bitcoin to a stable asset, but they don't want nothing to do with it, he says. Take a listen.
We won't be pursuing a Bitcoin ETF. Just like we don't use gold as an asset class for our clients. It's not that people can't invest in there. We just look at asset classes for, what belongs in a long-term portfolio, what has intrinsic value, has cash flows to it, and those are the asset classes we steer people towards. And so we don't go towards Bitcoin or gold or any other of those stable assets. Stable assets.
Stable assets. That's what they're calling Bitcoin, a stable asset. That's cute. Yeah. Look, there's obviously a lot of turmoil in the market. We're seeing the market bleeding pretty heavily, right? We know that USD Tether is the major on and off ramp to the crypto space, but for how much longer? Again, we know MiCA regulations are coming down the line, but listen to this response here.
When you say international commercial paper, are you willing to give us any more details? Chinese commercial paper is thought of very differently as Canadian commercial paper.
As Paolo mentioned, we guard our counterparties' relationships with great discretion. We have a lot of sensitive information inside our companies as retail-facing entrepreneurs, and we believe we've given sufficient transparency into that.
They believe they've given sufficient transparency into that. They're using, look, this guy says it exactly the way I've said it. It's exactly what I said. Trust me, bro, we're good. Meanwhile, starting Monday, MiCA regulations kick in. And for anybody that might have forgot, do you have stablecoins on your exchange? Because action requires stablecoins offered to your EU users must be MiCA compliant. This is a list of the ones that are not. USD Tether is right there. Now, there are still 5 other tokens along with USD Tether, but USD Tether is the largest market cap. Now, I have floated this idea that what we're watching happen is the liquidity being shut down from 27 nations inside of the European Union. I would expect legislation to also mirror what the EU is doing with MiCA in the US, to where it pushes USD Tether outside of the regulation and compliance in the US as well. We've had hints of this because I believe that we've seen a testimony that has pushed in Congress to set up that action to happen, as well as we've seen the spot ETFs for Bitcoin and Ethereum approved. And by the way, in a few more days, Ethereum spot ETFs will be approved on July 2nd, they're saying. And that will send another signal to me that they are cutting off the liquidity that has been feeding Bitcoin and Ethereum and broadly the crypto market, which is USD Tether, from two of the largest markets soon to be. One, the EU, 27 nations. Second, I would expect the US. This clips the wings for liquidity and going into USD Tether and the strength that it has currently. Once you cut the two largest economies out of USD Tether's reach, it's no longer a threat to the US dollar. I'm just coming at this if I was the US government, right? I would want to begin to clip its wings to how it gets its liquidity. I would want to get the assets that I wanted to live liquidity from somewhere else. Hello, spot ETFs, traditional clients and customers, right? And then I would go in for the kill. And I would introduce, I don't know, maybe the real USD. Yeah, the one that Ripple's going to launch. Why would that be the real USD? Oh, I don't know. Because Rosie Rios, the 43rd treasurer, is on the board of Ripple, and she might know how to design new money because she designed a new $100 bill, right? Or maybe it's Michael Esparr that makes me feel that way because he was at Ripple too, and the U.S. Treasury, and wrote FSOC regulations, and crafted the Dodd-Frank Act, and is now at the Federal Reserve as the VP, helping craft stablecoin legislation of all things with Congress and Treasury. When I look at all of that and the other countless people who've come through Ripple's camp, I start saying, you know what? The digital dollar from Ripple is the real USD, and I can't wait to see it. And I couldn't think of a better time to launch it than on July 1st. Bitstamp announced that they're going to delist Tether 2, EuroPeg stablecoin EuroT, by the end of June to comply with Europe's markets and crypto assets regulation. That's how real that is. And then here we see the UAE halts crypto transactions. UAE has officially banned the use of cryptocurrencies for buying goods and services. Only exception is for licensed dirham tokens, which is their dollars, which are not yet available. This is a significant move, impacts all crypto-based payments across the country. So I'm seeing another region of the world take steps and actions here to get control of this market. Everything in the world would be tokenized. Here we go. Mark Yusko laying it down.
Every collectible car, every piece of real estate, every private business, everything of value in the world will eventually be a token. This adoption of technology, this evolution, it's not a revolution, it's an evolution of technology, that everything of value will be a token on a blockchain.
That's exactly right.
A coin, not a thing. It's literally a line item on a public ledger. Everything of value will be that. And every transaction of value will happen in digital assets. You don't need the pieces of paper. Wipe out all of DTCC, which processes $1.8 quadrillion a year. That is a large number.
DTC says now it's $3 trillion.
That will all move to digital. And when it does, it will create massive wealth, the greatest wealth creation opportunity I'm going to see in my lifetime.
And I just want to remind people that, Ripple is joined with the DTCC, and they are directly and indirectly connected through also Securrency, which is bought and now referred to as the digital asset division of DTCC. And they can use and settle with multiple blockchains like the XRP Ledger, Ethereum, EOS, and others, Stellar too. Cross-border payments, a plethora of alternative payment methods are becoming popular in the market. Thunes, Ripple, Visa Direct, MasterCard, Swift, GPI, it's all right here. But I want you to hear, talking about tokenization and where we're going, this is MasterCard Chief Economist David Mann talking about utilizing tokenization.
As we've seen this rise of digital payments, of e-commerce, we also have been seeing the rise in the security risks that go alongside that. And any way of particularly, say, feeling more secure when making those payments, of course, that's a key thing that we've really been focusing on in a very big way. So a great example of this was, say, Click to Pay that was launched not that long ago, or tokenization. So imagine something where you're much more secure online because, let's say, in the past, you would have, say, left a card on file with a merchant. Instead of leaving your actual card details with them, think of it instead as you can just leave a token with them, where even if that is somehow intercepted or taken at some point later, it only works with that merchant anyway. It's worthless to anyone else. And so coming up with more of those solutions for tokenization, for confirming a digital identity in particular, the combination of all types of things that we see are coming through, that's something that MasterCard's been doing a huge amount of work on. There's whole teams of people that are very, very focused on that, on the spotting fraud, particularly in e-commerce, using all types of either machine learning or AI, you name it. That is a very, very big part on the security side.
Yeah, it's a big part on the security side. And you know what? Listen, and I get it, but there's going to be some huge pushes. We were talking about this in the Digital Perspective Mastermind group, the DPMG, which you are free to join, by the way. You can go to Dig Perspectives and join us. And by the way, we're about to take apart automated market makers. We have a step-by-step course in there on lesson in there on how to use automated market makers through Moy Finance. And they have a practice tab that you can use as well. And we're getting ready to take apart all the other options of automated market makers on the XRP Ledger too. If that's something you're interested in, you're going to want to join the DPMG. There's no question. You also get the Freedom Zone with that. But with all of this tokenization and everything that we're going to, we see the Digital Euro Association, which is saying the Bank of Thailand is inviting companies to apply to participate in its enhanced regulatory sandbox for DLT-based programmable payments. This is exciting because we know that MiCA is rolling out regulations and they're beginning to talk about this sandbox that's happening in other regions of the world. So now we're truly getting into cross-border payments, right? This is beautiful. I love it. And then there's more news here from the Digital Pound Foundation. Shout out to Cowboy Crypto for this. New member announced, and it's settled. to the Digital Pound Foundation. They provide DLT-enabled infrastructure and integration services for banks and capital markets. So it's an onboarding platform and services, right? Enabling infrastructure. And who is the head of Settle? I'll tell you who. It's Marjan Delisting, is the ex-managing director of payments at Settle for over 2.5 years, and happens to be ex-global head of banking, Ripple, for 3.5 years, and she's also ex-business director of Swift Community for over 10 years. Shout out to Marjan Delisting, and you know what? She's probably doing a killer job over there, I have no doubt. I had the pleasure of meeting her briefly in 2019 at Swell in Singapore, and she was a lovely person. It was so great to speak with her. I hope she's doing well. You know, all it takes is one institution to use XRP and the rest will follow. One could call it a snowball effect. This is from Tony Valentino, who was somebody back in the day. Always felt like he had some kind of inside knowledge. He says, we're about to see, this means near future, not 25 or 2030, as some are suggesting. Massive disruptions. XRP can't be worth dirt for these massive disruptions. One night you will sleep and wake up to XRP being 2 or 3 digits. All it takes is one bank smashing the order book. This is absolutely true, and I have said this, that we could see more than one bank happening at a time, because it's going to be legislative clarity that kicks the logjam open here to bring these institutions in. So when I think of this, I think to myself, but it won't be one bank, will it? It'll be one piece of legislation that opens the door for all the banks, all the institutions, and they will rush in, just like somebody going to a concert. That's what we're going to see, and I can't wait to see it. It's Dig Perspectives right here. Again, you can join the DPMG. We're opening the door here. We're getting into automated market makers on the XRP ledger, and it's going to be so fun. I know so many people are interested, as well as I and everybody inside the group, and we just talked about it. And again, we have a step-by-step lesson in there now on how to use an automated market maker. You can practice if you're not comfortable. Then we also are going to go through a series of all the other providers of the XRP AMMs, and we're going to get into those as well. So look forward to all of that as we go into this and educating ourselves on that. It's getting close. And I want to start there. If I'm going to do DeFi, which is really, DeFi, it's kind of loose. If I'm going to participate in an automated market maker, which is not staking, I'm going to do it on the XRP ledger because I know it ain't been hacked in its lifetime. Not financial advice of me or anyone else. Follow us, digitalperspectives.com. Join us at the DPMG. Learn the AMMs. Take advantage of all the resources from the amazing community we have, and get the Freedom Zone for free when you join the DPMG. I'll catch all of you on the next one.